So today we're going to be diving into the vendor reset. If you guys watched the video from yesterday, that was last week's vendor reset, the last chance to get those items. And we got a bunch of new items this week. Well, not a bunch, but a couple. The first one's going to be right here at the vendor at the base of operation, the one vendor that's right at the front door. And he's going to have one or two items that you guys can pick up. I would recommend picking up this name pistol, the Mozambique Special. If you guys have been looking at getting this, it actually has a maxed out 15% pistol damage. You can roll that critical hit damage for whatever you want. And then this one always comes with perfect breadbasket. Landing body shots adds a stack bonus of 50% headshot damage to the next headshot for 10 seconds. Max stack is 2. And I would really recommend picking up a lot of these named weapons, especially if you can get some really good God roll ones, because you never know what happens when they do any kind of balancing changes. And we do know they are coming in the next update, so we might get some new talents that actually make a lot of these weapons more efficient, or even be able to upgrade them to make them a lot better. So yeah, this is one right here I would recommend picking up. 15,000 credits. And then if we go all the way down, there is a 10% critical hit damage mod. If you guys don't have these, I would just grab that too. 4,500 for that. The next few items are actually going to be at the level 30 clan vendor. So all you have to do is either just try to search for a clan if you don't have one, and a lot of them are open. Just join them, and then you can just join that clan, and there you go. So the vendor is going to have the battery name pack. It doesn't have really good rolls, but if you don't have this one, you've been looking for it, where it gives you kills from cover, reduce skill cooldowns by 15%. You guys can do this, you can just re-roll it, but that's not one of the items I recommend picking up because the rolls aren't as good. But if you've been looking for this named item, here you go. Now, I would really recommend picking up the Future Initiative gloves and the Future Initiative mask. If you ever thought about creating a healer build, it already comes with skill tier 1, and then you can re-roll that to repair skills for both of those, take off that headshot damage. And I'm telling you, if you guys are thinking about making a healer build, Future Initiative has always been the best 4-piece to do that, because it really helps out your teammates put out more damage, and it also heals them. So yeah, these are two items, 6,000 for the gloves, 5,400 for the mask. Now, there is an MP7 that has some pretty decent rolls on here if you've been looking at trying this weapon out. It does come with Sadist, so that is 20% weapon damage to bleeding enemies. So if you pair this up with the Stinger Hive, hey, it could work. Or you could even change that talent out and leave damage to armor on there, and well, you can have yourself a nice MP7. If you guys have been looking at picking one of these up, well, here you guys go. And then if we keep going down, there are some Araldi knee pads that have weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage. You could always switch out the crit chance for headshot damage if you want to do that. And then if you ever create a 3-piece Araldi build with marksman rifle, headshot damage, damage to armor, well, there you guys go. A really solid pair of knee pads. Something I would pick up if I didn't have this and I was looking for an Araldi, really a pretty solid piece. And that's about it that we have here. The next item is actually going to be over at the theater settlement, so we're going to head there. So at the vendor at the theater settlement, they are going to have this Marine Super 90. It has shotgun damage, damage to armor, damage to targets out of cover. So you could max out the damage to armor. You can max out the shotgun damage. You could max out the damage target out of cover. You can either re-roll something on there, or you could just fully optimize it and change out the talent. It does come with pumped up. Reloading grants 1% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Now this does stack up 25 times. Ideally, I'd probably move that, but the Marine Super 90 has always been one of my favorite shotguns to use and puts out a lot of damage. They also have the named shotgun that gives you perfect jazz hand, 30% reload speed. I'm not a fan of it, but this Marine Super 90 is definitely a piece I would get. And there's nothing else on here I would really recommend you guys picking up. I'm just going to show you real quick so you guys can see this. The last item is actually going to be a DZ item, as there was nothing really else on the vendors, and that's going to be at DZ South, so we'll head there now. So at the DZ South entrance, the vendor here, remember, these are going to cost you DZ credits. I would really pick this up if you don't have it. This is the name pistol that gives you 1 skill tier. What that allows you to do is either stack more weapon damage, stack more armor on a skill build, because as long as you have this pistol out, you get that pistol damage, you get that skill tier, and it gives you that +1 skill tier. So that means you have one other roll. You can run anything else. This one does come with lucky shot. Magazine capacity is increased by 20%. Missed shots from cover have a 100% chance of returning to magazine. So if you're shooting this from a cover, well, it would work. or you could just switch out the talent on it for something else. I personally think this is a great weapon to have on a lot of skill builds. So if you guys have been looking at creating some type of hybrid skill build and you want to run a pistol, well, this is one I've ran on a lot of my skill builds. So yeah, right here, the named card, I would pick it up. Definitely grab this one. And that is about it. There really wasn't anything else. They do have this Aces and Eights backpack with almost maxed out headshot damage. You can max out the weapon damage and you have yourself a pretty solid Aces and Eight backpack. And that was pretty much it that I saw that I personally would recommend picking up. So if you guys have been looking at getting any new items, those are the items I personally will pick up, and I think that were worth picking up. There was nothing really else on the vendor reset for this week. We do have the name Gunrunner tomorrow on Wednesday. So as soon as that drops, I'll make a video on that and then have that for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. If you guys are, leave a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, nothing but skills.